What's up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here, and this is my discussion for the day. As you can see, it's still daylight outside. And I actually started thinking about this discussion for a while, so let's get started on it. Now, relationships in wrestling. Nobody really likes them. Some people like to be a part of them. Some people don't like to be a part of them. Somebody don't even want to mention them. But the thing about it is, I think that it would actually be a great benefit to the people involved in the storyline if it's done correctly. For example, the McMahon Helmsley era. Do not get me wrong, that was probably one of the worst eras and probably the worst example for me to ever mention to you. But when it actually started off for the entire thing, the whole marriage and everything, and the way that Stephanie turned heel, it was interesting. I'm not going to deny that. It really was, and it was done right. It did great benefits for Triple H, and it did great benefits for Stephanie. It actually got her out there, even though she wasn't technically a wrestler, but either or, she was a heel something. But either or, it did really great for the factions that were involved in the McMahon Helmsley era. It did a lot of benefit for those that were involved in the storyline as a whole, if because it was done right. The same with Vicky Guerrero and Edge, the marriage between those two, even though it became really stale, really boring, and really annoying at the end, it still did great wonders for not only Vicky Guerrero because she is very popular. She's probably the best female heel manager of this era, not of all time. I'm sorry, there are many above her, but she's probably one of the best heel managers of this time. In my opinion, it was because of the whole Vicky Guerrero era or the Guerrero era, whatever you call it. The marriage between those two, and then also it did wonders for Edge. Don't get me wrong, Edge was already popular and he didn't really need the push, but it really got him out there as a heel. And I guess he was always a heel until he turned face, but it really pushed him out there as a heel when he married Vicky Guerrero, and then the whole faction on from there. That is when relationships is done right. Now, done wrong, and these are the examples I'm gonna put out when it's done wrong. As much as I love these two on TNA, as much as I love their hardcore country, well, not hardcore country, that's Mickey James, but they're straight up backwoods country, whatever, country grammar, whatever you want to call it. Their thinking is it's just hilarious to me, and also it's cute. I'm talking about Eric Young and ODB. Now, as cute as those guys are, and as cute as they are as a couple, it's not really doing anything for them, in my opinion. It's just making them double annoying, and it's making Eric Young look like an idiot. And ODB can do so much better in her career. She can take chicks out with 1 second, one hand tied behind her back. And honestly, I don't think that their pairing is actually doing any good for them as wrestlers. But the casual fans, everyone out there, they like them as a couple, as a married couple. But if something happens and they split up, who knows? But the thing is, I really don't think that their marriage is done right. I think their marriage is a little bit too cutesy. They're not a dominating couple. You would think that in wrestling, you would want to have a couple that dominates, that takes over. Just like another example, Beth Phoenix and Santino Marella. Santino Marella was the best heel. He had pretty much the best segments of all time when he was with Beth Phoenix. I'm not gonna lie. I loved Santino. I still love Santino now, but he was awesome as a heel back then. I am not gonna lie. He was hilarious. And he had so much clout in a little way. He kind of did. And then the fact that he was holding the IC championship belt, even when he didn't win it, the guy was like pretty much the best heel ever. I'm not gonna lie, he was. But moving on to another relationship that's gone wrong, Daniel Bryan and AJ. Now, this could have been done right. It really could have been done right. And the reason why I've said this is because the way that it took off. Let's face it, when Daniel Bryan was with Gail Kim and then the whole Bella Twins angle, that wasn't all that bad. It started some kind of a triangle, but just for Daniel Bryan's heart, and it actually did become a little interesting. But now that Gail Kim's gone and AJ got put in her place, I mean, it just the way it started off was really sluggish and slow and just pointless and dumb. But then when they broke up, you would think that you would get more from her. Now, I know I've talked about how relationships are bad. Relationships are either good or bad in wrestling. But what I mean is like it would have been great for them to be a power couple. It would have been the best opportunity for AJ to be a heel when AJ was dating Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan was a heel back then, and I mean, even though he didn't get a lot of heat at that time, it would have benefited AJ if she turned heel, because she would have been one of the classic girlfriends that would do anything for her man, to literally go out there and, well, I mean, sure, she put herself in harm's way, but she's pretty much thrown out there like a human shield. But what I mean is, she would have been a lot more aggressive, grabbing the leg of the wrestler, actually being a part of the storyline, being a part of that couple, and being the dominating force that ran that couple. That's pretty much how most power couples are in wrestling. The woman will do something for the man, and sometimes the man will do something for the woman. Sometimes, not all the time. But either or, it really would have done something for AJ's character. It really would have. It really would have benefited her a lot if she turned heel back then. But right now, you really don't know where she is. After the breakup, Daniel Bryan's getting tons and tons of heat, tons and tons of popularity from his yes, yes, yes chant, tons and tons of popularity from his promos, and also tons and tons of popularity from his matches alone, whoever he matches with or whoever he feuds with. But what about AJ? AJ is like trying to get herself in the middle as being a tag along to Daniel Bryan. They're trying to make her turn heel, but then they're pulling back. They're not sure if they should go on. And now the whole CM Punk angle is still not doing anything for her. So it really would have benefited her if she actually became a woman scorned. And she actually would have done something to not only screw over her supposed friend Caitlyn, who she thinks likes Daniel Bryan. It would have been even more, it would have been awesome if she actually went out there and screwed Daniel Bryan, not in that way, but actually messed up his game in a way. And also kind of got back at him for trying to date CM Punk, even though that's never going to happen. But the thing is, my point of the whole thing is relationships in wrestling could benefit the wrestler themselves if it's done correctly. What do you think about this whole thing? Do you think that relationships in general for wrestling, not talking about like the whole thing in general, but talking about relationships in wrestling, do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think it doesn't do anything for the wrestlers as a whole? Do you think it actually will benefit the wrestlers if it's done correctly in a storyline? I want to hear what you guys think about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Send me a video response. I am all for that. And I will definitely listen to them. And I will definitely leave a comment for any comments that you guys make. I will do my best to get back to it. Now, before I sign off, I have to give a shout out to Renegade of Wrestling. Now, the Dads of Wrestling segment that I just watched for the Over the Limit, these guys are great. They probably don't even need any of this because they probably have tons and tons of followers, or not Twitter, but tons and tons of subs. So they probably don't even need this. But if you guys have not checked this out, check them out. Check them out. JJ Williams has left videos on my Wrestling Fan Nation page if you want to check him out. He just uploaded the Over the Limit review, Over the Limit results show that they had on my Wrestling Fan Nation page. So check them out. They probably don't even need the subs. I mean, they probably don't even need this coming from me. But honestly, check them out. These guys are awesome. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. I will see you guys later on tonight for my Raw review. Peace. Later.